Hello, Rotoworld. Thanks for tuning in. It's Tommy Beer with the great Dr. A, Steve Alexander, and we're going to discuss a little Raptors versus Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals, what promises to be a very interesting and exciting Eastern Conference Finals. First off the bat, Steve, let's talk a little bit about Kawhi Leonard. Hit a shot for the ages, made himself a legend in Toronto. Will be very interesting to see if that keeps him in Toronto long term, but that's a story for the summer and the offseason. Let's talk right now about his performance. Scored 243 points in the second round series against the Sixers. That is the third most all time in a 7-game series, second only to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Jordan. So obviously pretty good company. We know what type of level he played out. What do the Bucks need to do to contain Kawhi Leonard in the Eastern Conference Finals?
You know, it's a great question. Props to the Raptors for frustrating fantasy owners all year by resting Kawhi constantly. Didn't know if he was going to play or not, but obviously the plan worked out. We saw one of the greatest buzzer beaters of all time, the first true buzzer beater in an NBA Game 7. It was epic. It was awesome. The Kawhi Leonard we've seen in these playoffs is a different Kawhi Leonard than we saw in the regular season. He is basically just like Giannis. Giannis and him are going to be going head-to-head a lot in this. We're also going to see some Chris Middleton on Kawhi. We're going to see some Pascal Siakam on Giannis. It's going to be a really fun war. And the Bucks are the number one defensive team for the regular season. A lot of that is Giannis. I think even though we saw a lot of Siakam on Giannis and a lot of Middleton on Kawhi during the regular season, I think for this series, we may see a lot of Kawhi, Giannis head-to-head, which should be awesome.
Totally agree. I think you can make a very legitimate argument that that Kawhi and Giannis are the two best players. You factor in offense, defense, offensive efficiency, etc., on the planet right now. So to see those guys match up, obviously there'll be some cross matches at times. Middleton will get in the mix, and Pascal Siakam for the Raptors as well. But at the end of the day, these two guys are often going to be matched up against each other, and for them to play each other with a chance for the NBA Finals on the line is fascinating. As we flip the coin onto the kind of focusing on the Raptors approach as they get ready for the Bucks, rather. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing at an extremely high level, as we know. You can make he's probably going to win the MVP. If not for James Harden, he'll finish second. How do the Raptors contain Giannis going into that Eastern Conference Finals matchup? Other than praying, of course.
How do you stop Giannis? I don't know how to do it. I mean, the size of Kawhi's hands aren't going to hurt. That's the thing. And remember when LeBron and Kawhi used to face off, and LeBron hated playing against Kawhi because Kawhi is such a good defensive player, and I'm sure Giannis isn't looking forward to it either, especially the role that Kawhi is on right now, and vice versa. Kawhi doesn't want to play against Giannis right now, so that's going to be awesome. One thing I think is people aren't talking about is OG Anunoby is injured. He had an emergency appendectomy. He's one of the guys that has been responsible for guarding Giannis during the regular season. So with him not being there, that's going to put a lot more pressure on Siakam and Kawhi. So they're going to have to really step up. I think if Anunoby doesn't come back, I think that may be something that really ends up hurting the Raptors here.
We've talked a little bit about it. What do you think in terms of a prediction? Who do you got coming out of the series?
I got the Bucks in 7. I've been a Giannis guy all year. A lot of people are like, oh, Giannis's fantasy numbers weren't as good as they were supposed to be, and I wasn't impressed. Whatever. I love Giannis. I think he's the best player in the league. I think he is going to win the MVP, and if he doesn't, I'm going to be a little bit salty about that. But I'm going to go with the Bucks in 7. They've got home court, and the Raptors are just happy to be there after the Kawhi miracle last night.
Yeah, I agree with you. I got the Bucks as well. I think it's actually going to be a little bit easier than that, though. I got the Bucks in 5. I mean, you factor in they're the only team in the league to finish it in terms of the top 5 in offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency in the regular season. They've actually stepped their game up to another level in the postseason. The Raptors, as you mentioned, a little bit worn down, a little bit. I don't want to say that they're playing with house money right now, but I think they might be a little bit more content than the Bucks are. I think the Bucks have plenty of time to rest, plenty of time to focus on what Toronto does well. Kawhi had very little help in Game 7. If the fellow Raptors don't step up, I think this series could get kind of easy, could get kind of ugly. So I got the Bucks wrapping up in 5.